The anchoring feature allows you to take a control or label, or both, and anchor it to a part of the form, like the upper right-hand corner or bottom left, so that when the front-end user is in the form view and resizes the form, that control, label, or button will stay put and be anchored to that part of the form. So for example, if I go ahead and I put a control right here that says close, so it closes the form, when I apply the anchoring feature to it that says bottom right-hand corner, even though I created it right here, when somebody goes to the form view, it'll display it in the lower right-hand corner because it's anchored to that corner if I choose that corner. So when somebody comes up here and resizes it, obviously it comes in a bit. Access will look at that and go, oh, we can't make it disappear because it's anchored to the viewable part of the form. And so we can't see that part down below because we resized it, made it smaller. It'll pull it back up and keep it anchored to what's viewable, and in this case, the lower right-hand corner. Pretty cool, huh? So let's go ahead and restore it. Right-click, go to the design view, and let's go ahead and create a command button that when somebody clicks on it, it'll close the form. And we'll create it right here and apply the anchoring feature to the bottom right-hand corner. So let's come up here on the Design tab to the Controls group, and there it is, the button. Click on it, and then come down here on the grid, and you can see you got a plus sign with that rectangle, the button. So plus means to add. Click on it. Opens up a window, and it says, okay, here are the categories, and of the categories, like let's say the form operations, what action do you want to apply to this command that when somebody clicks on it, or the button, it will close the form. Let's go ahead and click Next, and it says, okay, what do you want the button to look like? Do you want a picture that shows us with the door being closed, or you can use text, and instead of close form, how about if we just delete that and say close? Click Next, and then the name of the command so you can identify it in the properties. We can say it's the close B for button. Click Finish, and we're not done yet because now we have to apply the anchoring feature to it, which is found up here on the Arrange tab. To the Position group, click on the anchoring, and what part of the form do you want it to be anchored to? Let's do the bottom right, select it. Now even though I put the button there, right next to these text boxes, when I right click and go to the form view, hey, it's anchored to the bottom right hand corner. Fabulous. So when I resize it, hey, it comes in, it doesn't disappear when I resize the form view to something smaller. Sweet. Are you tempted? Do you want to see if it actually works? Let's click on Close. Well, we didn't save our changes, so let's say yes, and it closed. Okay, let's go ahead and restore it. Right click, go back to the design view. There's a warning about this though. Make sure that when you use the anchoring feature that in the design view, your grid, that isn't so large, it's not snug right next to the control that you have the anchoring feature applied to. Because, well, the grid isn't too big. It is stretched out a bit here, but if I exaggerate to make a point, and I give it this much grid, and then I go ahead and click on the View button, you see how much closer it brings it to the controls here and not in the bottom right hand corner further away from, well, my text boxes and labels. So that ain't cool. Let's go ahead and right click, Design View, and let's click and drag the grid in so it's snug right next to the anchored control or command. Click on the View button. Whoa, that's really tight. So if I want it to bring it in just a little bit and not have it snug right next to the edge of my screen here, then of course you want to right click, Design, and give it some padding, because that's what we're about, you know, giving people some space. That looks better.